this week's edition of Measuring Valley Hoops. I'm Debbie Antonelli, and I am pleased to be joined by the head coach for Northern Iowa, Tanya Warren. Coach Warren, thank you so much for being with us.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Debbie.
Hey, you got a pretty good team. Now, you're one of 4 teams sitting at the top of the standings right now with 1 loss. You already have a win over Missouri State. What does that say about the competitiveness of this league?
Well, we said coming in all along from top to bottom, this league was going to be very good. It was an extremely young league last year, and you're starting to see that as we get into Valley play. But from top to bottom, this league is very, very competitive.
Now, 62% of your baskets are assisted. That's a number I always look at. So I am really impressed with the way you guys distribute the ball and you get good shots. Now, you've got your jersey hanging in the rafters at Creighton because you were the all-time assist leader there. How important is that part of the game to you?
Well, it starts with our leadership with Charnay Lamar at the point guard position. She literally is an extension of me on the floor. She does a great job of getting her teammates the basketball where they can score. And also Madison Weekly, being able to play her off the ball. So we're really playing 2 point guards in our starting lineup, and I think that has been extremely beneficial and has allowed us to do a very good job of taking care of the basketball.
Now, I find this number pretty interesting because Weekly and Sorensen, 2 of your better players, lead your team in scoring, have combined to make 32 threes in conference play, more than 6 other teams in the Valley. How good do they shoot it?
They shoot it extremely well, and we thrive off of that. And then obviously the presence of Jen Keitel, getting her back from an ACL a year ago, has really helped us in terms of being able to score inside out, whereas last year we really relied on the 3 ball. People was able to take that away, but we're getting a lot more looks now that Jen's back and we have an inside presence.
Yeah, I love that balance, Coach. Now, you played a really tough non-conference schedule. 5 of your losses in non-conference were by single digits or, 1 or 2 possessions, and your 1 loss in the Valley was by 5 points. What did your team learn about playing in that competitive non-conference schedule to help you with conference play when you had so many tight games?
Well, being able to execute down the stretch. There were a couple of key games, South Dakota State being one, where we just didn't do some things down the stretch on both ends of the floor, whether it was a scouting report detailed defensively or an offensive put back, free throw, just some execution things that we know that we can be better at, and we've gotten better at as we've gotten into league play.
So I'm going to guess those kinds of details in the late game situation with experience, which is what you have, should be able to be fixed pretty easily. You have 6 of your top 7 players are juniors and seniors. You have 4 seniors that play a majority of time for you. How valuable is that experience in this league?
Extremely valuable. And again, Jen didn't play last year, and it has taken her a little bit of time in terms of the non-conference to get herself back in a rhythm. But when you look at the experience, you can't put a price tag on that, and that has been extremely beneficial for us. As I said, we've learned a lot in the non-conference that I do think will help us as we continue to get in Valley play. Can't put a price tag on experience.
You've been around a lot of great people in your basketball career. I know some of them, and I respect them greatly. Your USA basketball experience this summer, what did you learn from that? How valuable was that? And, you worked alongside Holly Warlick, who was an assistant coach with you, as well as Joe McEwen at Northwestern. What do you have to say about those 2 and how you guys came together?
Well, first of all, not only are they outstanding coaches, we know that, but they're amazing people. And just being able to sit and talk with them and pick their brain about different situations and just to see how they do practice and get practice ready and conduct practice was beneficial in itself. Different drills, how you handle timeouts, just different things that sometimes as a head coach you take for granted, but just being able to be on the outside, so to speak, and really look in was extremely valuable. But just being able to spend time with them, not only on the floor, but away from the floor. Actually, Holly and I just talked with her this morning. Those are friendships that are a lifetime. I texted with Joe a couple weeks ago. More than anything else, the basketball experience was priceless, but the friendships that you make for a lifetime is beyond words.
Well, there's no question we're in the relationship business. We know that. You do that with coaches as players. You do that with different coaches in the profession. But I want to ask you about something you said about timeout situation, because new in college basketball this year is the 4 quarters. Now, USA Basketball and FIBA have been playing with those rules. You had a little bit of a jump start because of your summer experience with USA Basketball, winning the gold medal with the World University Games. What did you learn in situations about timeouts that you've been able to help with your experienced team?
Being able to save them and advance the basketball in key situations, whether that's to get a shot off or whether that's just so you couldn't get pressured and you have the basketball on your end of the floor. But being able to manage the timeouts in terms of saving them has been extremely beneficial. And we've had to do that in several games already this year.
And one final question for you. Up next, it's not easy in this league. There's no circle the W. You've got to go on the road at Drake. You've got to play at Loyola, 2 other teams that are both one-loss teams in the league right now. What are your challenges with those 2?
Well, obviously, Drake is as good as there is offensively. They shoot the 3 extremely well. They score in transition. And this is going to sound really silly, but really your best defense against Drake is your offense. Because you're going to get shots, you have to be able to score with them. Well coached, and obviously it's an in-state rival, so there's going to be a great crowd, and hopefully it'll be a good game. And we're looking forward to the challenge. What Cheryl's done at Loyola, I mean, I knew it was just a matter of time. Great player, great coach, very good talent, and they have come together. I try not to talk about games before we finish the first one, but we're looking forward to Sunday. It's going to be a dogfight, so to speak, and we're looking forward to the challenge. So we're excited about the opportunity that lies ahead of us.
Coach, it's perfectly okay with me if your best defense is your offense. I have absolutely no problem with that at all.
It sounds silly, but when you're playing against Drake, it is a fact.
Coach, thanks a lot for breaking it down with us. We appreciate you being with us this week.
Thanks, Debbie.